Welcome to Civic Duty. I'm your host, Hubert Furrough. Of course, to the right of me is Unc. How you doing, Unc?
I'm fine. I'm Dion. How's everybody?
Yeah, well, I call you Unc though, but if you want me to call you Dion,
Unc's fine.
I didn't want to.
Unc's fine.
I didn't want to put your.
I said Unc's fine.
Okay. I didn't want to put your, Also with us always is my baby Ob. What's up, Ob?
Hey, what's happening?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Ready to get into this episode, if you will, episode deuce.
Okay. All right. This is episode 2 of Civic Duty. And before we get into everything, we just want to first give a shout out to teachers out there around the world, the globe, and the country. This is, I believe, Teacher Appreciation Week.
Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yeah. So, and I know a couple people that are teachers. So, want to give a shout out to the teachers. Also,
shout out to my wife, Jessica.
Yeah. What's up,
Chambers.
Jess?
She's a teacher. My nephew, Tarian.
T. What's up, T?
Yeah.
So
I got a niece that's a teacher too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you gotta say what's up to him.
Give the
yeah,
shout
definitely.
What's up to her?
Yeah, that's cool. Also, an early Mother Day shout out to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day, and also for I guess everyone out there that possibly maybe lost their mom. Let's just take a moment and just think about some things sometimes in our lives with our mothers. My mom's been gone for a long time, so
my mom been gone for a couple of years.
So we'll definitely take some time to reflect on our upbringing and what they did and what they meant to us. So again, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the ladies out there, and we also just want to touch a little bit about Cinco de Mayo. This was kind of like a personal thing because this is something that I wasn't really educated on myself. You hear Cinco de Mayo, I think of drinking and partying, but I did not know that it had some historical relevance, and I believe it had something to do with Mexico and defeating the French, right?
It was their revolution, the Mexican Revolution. They freed themselves.
Revolution.
From the French.
Okay. So I guess that would be something to drink about. And enjoy, have some drinks.
Hey,
so
freedom, right?
Happy belated Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
So okay, episode 2. What we always talk about is a voice, kinda, and just possibly getting some information out, maybe that people just don't have the time to. This was something that we were talking about. It was like, you have to work 40, almost 80 hours, 2 children, just so much going on in everybody's life. So I guess as voters, when we vote, and we mark the ballot or whatever you want to say, and we pick the representative, I guess a lot of us are like, all right, we've done our civic duty.
We picked someone to protect us.
Yes. So, we want this person to represent us and speak for us and just do the job. Legislate. No politicking, legislate. And I just think people are busy, and they sometimes maybe they're just not interested. But I want to believe that most people just don't have the time. What do you think, Unc?
Well, I think they don't. They're busy, like you say. Most people are really too busy.
Yeah, they're just.
But our legislators have to legislate, and it is the duty for each and every one of us, even if we are busy.
Yeah.
We won't look at this TV show today. Let's look at some legislation on the television or something. But in the city of Wilmington, there isn't any television that's showing any legislation going on, I don't believe.
Yeah. But what we do have for you is a clip from Mr. Penrose Hollins. Want to give a shout out to Mr. Hollins. How you doing? And that's he discusses a little bit about the voice in the city of Wilmington, and it's an interesting clip. So, if you're ready, let's let the people see it.
All right, yeah, let's get this. And shout out to Channel 22.
Shout out
to 22, of course.
Yeah.
Penrose makes his way to the podium.
Thank you, Madam President, and the 4 members of the City Council that are present for this public hearing. The last time I spoke here was at your last legislative session, and that was the first time I've spoken to County Council on the issue since the 35 years that I had a privilege to serve on this body. A lot have changed in that 35 years. Primarily, I want to focus on the fact that society today values transparency and inclusion. So I was very shocked when I came here 2 weeks ago to realize the impediment that this council has imposed on public comment. I got here about 40 minutes and waited for the council to show up. A few of them trickle in as they're doing tonight. I waited, and then as tonight, about 40 minutes after waiting, some of the city residents had waited here for an hour to hear the president announce that you may not get a chance to speak. Self-imposed restrictions on public speaking. I automatically had to compare that, contrast that with Newcastle County Council. We live in a city of 71,260 people. Newcastle County represents 560,000 people. Yet in County Council, no one has to get to a meeting before the council members are present. No one is disallowed to speak on any item on that agenda. The public is allowed to speak on every single item on that agenda in real time. For folk who want to speak to the county council, in addition to that, there's an opportunity to speak after the council meeting. So it's a little disheartening to me to recognize that the county council, the city council itself, are disallowing us an opportunity as the citizens who you are our first level of protection as a local government. The other thing I'm really concerned about here is that in my community, the city council pretty soon is going to be voting on a rezoning. A rezoning is going to potentially change the character of our neighborhood for the rest of our lives. And most of us will not have an opportunity for 3 minutes before our government to speak about an issue that's going to change the character of our neighborhood for the rest of our natural life. So I came tonight to plead with this council to please consider, respectfully I come to ask you, to please consider removing the impediments from public comment. This is a local government. You represent us, and hopefully you will allow us the opportunity to be included in your deliberations. Thank you all very much for the time.
Wow. Okay, that was
right there, man.
Yes, he did.
yeah. That was Penrose Hollins speaking on the transparency in the city government. If I'm correct on that one.
Definitely so.
Yeah.
One thing he said that stuck out, he was talking about the changes in his community.
Oh yeah.
Now, the gentrification just doesn't happen in our communities that are less fortunate. It can happen whenever they feel like doing it.
Yeah. What we wanted to do also with this, we're kind of giggling about this. Let me see if I can find this here. Okay. For a lot of people out there, the word gentrify, it's strong. It's like someone walking up to you like, I'm gonna gentrify you. And you're like, woo.
Yeah, that sounds nasty.
Man, that sounds.
Yeah,
that sounds.
Yeah, we gotta put some proper context on it.
Yes, you better explain this.
Yeah. So.
Before you gentrify me,
Yeah.
I'm looking at you a little different.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to do, I mean, I understand and everything. This is fun, but just wanted to give a definition of gentrification: the process of renovating and improving a house or district so that it conforms to middle class taste, or the process of making a person or activity more refined or polite.
Well, you might want to gentrify me.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that Penrose clip, because
Yeah.
how you not gonna give people a chance to speak? Do they like not let people in at a certain point?
Yeah. You go to the meetings.
You go to the meetings
more than I do.
Do they like, yo, you late? You can't come to class or something?
Yes.
They don't let people in the door?
They'll let you in the door, but they will not let you speak. They with the rules, she says states. I have to say she says, because no one else has said anything else but her, that every person has 3 minutes.
Okay.
But there have been incidents where certain people take more than 3 minutes, and she says nothing. There have been incidents where she's tried constantly when people are speaking, she runs across them and she tries to edit them in her own form and fashion during their 3 minutes. She's been very unfair. The city council has done they have an agenda they put up. every month.
Okay.
And if you look at the agenda, it's always spelled out each committee and each group and what they're for.
Right.
Now all
You
of a
mean
sudden,
like this right here?
you have an agenda for us to look at. Yes, like that there. Yeah, there you go, brother Albert.
Yeah.
You're right on time.
Yeah.
What does FNED stand for?
I can't see it from this angle, but some initials.
FNED committee.
I don't know. Wait a minute, hold on.
Mortgage budget
hold on.
hearing presentation.
Wait, what are all these letters over here on the other side? From what I can see on my screen, all the way over on Mondays.
On Monday?
Yeah.
That's a finance and economic
Yeah, but
development.
move your thing off of it. Your arrow off.
All right.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now we can see it. You see all these letters? They're not even initials. Okay?
Okay.
And that's what they have up here now. Now, last month, where there was the letters and initials, they had the whole word spelled out.
So they had everything spelled out
Yes,
clear
yes.
for you.
It's clear for you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it was last month. Now, this month, they have initials. And they're not even initials. They're just letters.
Then over in the side right here, they got the abbreviations. But like when I pulled it up on my phone, you just see the
letters.
Yeah, the letters.
There's
and I'm
no-
like, what?
There's nothing. What? There's
What
letters.
is CVNT?
I have no idea, and I go all the time. But it's canceled, so that's something important. If they canceled it, that means that's probably the LAPA thing, because they're fighting with that. You know
What,
what I mean?
if you say lap.
Oh, let me go to the thing to see what CVNT means.
Yeah, let's give our listeners.
Yep, that's cable, video, and telecommunications.
Well, it's canceled. See, this is what they do. Now, the people
Oh.
that they're fighting LAPA because some situations, I don't know. You know more about LAPA than I do.
Well, all I know is I worked at Channel 28 since
Okay.
1994. So if that makes me an authority, I'll take that.
More
you
than
know,
I.
you know what I'm saying? It's just,
More than I.
you know, back when Clinton was in office. You know what I'm saying? Back when the Cowboys was winning Super Bowls. So.
Well, do you have any information on the situation
Well,
over there?
the situation is the TPO for control of Channel 28 won up. And DETV won over LAPA, who has been there for maybe, the last 7 years?
Okay.
Since Comcast left.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of fighting going on. You know, like Channel 28 used to be the voice of the people. Now it's not, because none of the live shows are on right now.
Yeah.
Why is that? I know there's nothing on right now at all.
Because now Ivan Thomas has taken it in a new direction. You know what I mean? Maybe
Who is
they're
Ivan
still,
Thomas?
He's the one that runs Channel 28 now.
Oh.
A gentleman named Ivan Thomas is running Channel 28
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
DETV.
now? All right. Well, when did he get that position?
I think it took effect April 1st.
Well,
Because it went up for bid and the council had to vote, and you know,
Okay.
the council had a vote on it. When did they vote on it? Do you know?
I don't know when the vote was.
But
But-
somewhere I think I heard the vote. I don't know. Someone gave me a piece of paper here.
Yeah, what's that?
What,
What's
what,
that
what do
paper
you?
say?
What, yeah. What do you
And
have?
this is the this is the lease dealing with LAPA TV station. Channel 28 dealing with Channel 28 with LAPA and so forth. Hanifa Shabazz and Mr. Thomas. And it goes on and on about the agreement. The 29th of March.
Yeah.
The 29th of March. It says on here.
Hmm.
Now, I thought it was in April, but it says on here the 29th of March.
Well, it took effect in April.
Oh, but it was signed way back in March.
Yeah. It's so.
But when did they vote on it?
It might be okay in like.
I don't know when they voted on it.
So I think we need to check on when they voted on it
Yeah, it might be okay in legal lease
Because
to
this-
have something effective prior to.
prior to voting.
Yeah, because I working in real estate, I'll
Mhm.
notice that sometimes and they can make something effective a certain day, but it
Oh,
won't
if it's
be.
a lease, you got to.
Yeah, well,
But how did they know?
just
How
the
did they notice he's
terminology.
going to win the vote?
Because they, if
You know
you,
what I'm saying is, if you have to vote on something,
Okay,
right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And before the vote goes down, we already signed the agreement.
because you already know how you gonna vote. I know who I'm gonna vote for president already.
Oh, so what you saying is everybody on the city council knew how they was going to vote.
Not everybody on the city council knew how they was gonna vote,
Right.
but we know the people that vote with and league with certain people.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
that's why
All
it's
right.
being held up because somebody's angry with somebody now.
Yeah.
So they fixing a vote or something.
Yeah, because like Channel 28 shows that have been on since, like I've been working at Channel 28 since '94. Them
Right.
shows, some of them shows been on before that.
Yeah, and again,
now ain't none of them been on for like a month. So
yeah, and this is interesting. Now going back and looking at Mr. Hollins in his clip, talking about how he said some of them were still filing in as he was making his comments. Like some of the city officials weren't even there, and they weren't even present.
As if they didn't care.
I mean,
I don't know what Mr. Hollins was thinking, but I did hear what he said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah, it was almost.
I was there.
Yeah, it almost like they
didn't.
like they didn't care. I'm not really sure.
Well, I was there at that meeting, and there was an issue there about transparency, I believe.
Okay.
And I spoke on it at that meeting. Do you have that where I spoke at that meeting? It's right
I
after
just got
Penrose
rid of it.
Hollins.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me.
It's right after Brother Penrose spoke. I had something to say about transparency
Okay.
because that we're there now. That's how it struck me.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And then the thing is like, also with the voice, Channel 28 was a voice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You did a lot of work with Channel 28.
I did a whole lot of work.
You did a lot of work with them, man. So I mean, if anybody would have that,
You called
right
it
there.
a voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a voice.
I
like
know
he's-
you're going.
Yeah,
It's a voice because
he's right there. I mean,
because like that letter you got in front of you, people
Yeah.
would be reading that right on Channel 28.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
instead of
that's
somebody giving it to me.
Yeah.
And my goodness.
but
Yeah.
on paper, you know what I mean? You could just turn on the TV and hear that smoke,
okay.
Yes.
and they'd be like, "Yo, this contract is signed." So,
It's suspicious.
dog, I don't want to.
It is suspicious.
I don't want to
say
go into it,
Okay. Well,
but I do want to go into it.
I tell you what we can
'Cause
go
we
into
could bounce off of-
real quick, not to cut you off, just to ask you a question. If you don't have the tape ready,
I got
if
it.
we're okay now,
But this is another matter of law. Like
Okay.
this is, and we're not lawyers, so I have to say that. But
Yeah.
some things look suspicious to us.
Well, the fact that Hanifa wants to pay the bills, like I don't know how many businesses in Wilmington that the city's paying for the rent, but that would help a lot of businesses.
Well,
Is that just me thinking that?
but did everybody vote on that, or is that just Hanifa again? She does things on her own.
She said she couldn't comment. She was just informed that that would be in the
The
best
process.
interest.
In the
Yeah.
process.
Oh, the best interest of the city.
Oh, the best interest of the city. So if I'm sitting on the
Whoa, this is
outside,
getting deep.
well, yeah. So if I was sitting on the outside, and I'm like, all right, as a taxpayer, I'm asking myself, so the interest of the city is the city to take a
Pay
certain
somebody's rent.
allotted amount of money and pay
$7
the rent
grand
for
a month.
Channel 28. Now, I've talked to a couple people that have gone to the site, and their viewpoint upon the site was, I mean, it's a nice looking site. It seemed to be a site for more entertainment.
What site?
Channel 28 now? Is that
Oh yeah, DETV.
okay? Yeah, DETV. That it was more. It looked like more of a site where it was like more entertainment than it was maybe legislative perspective per se. Just kind
More
of
singing and dancing.
yeah. Like whereas before we know
Some more singing and don't start me.
yeah.
Some more singing and dancing.
Stop
Word,
dan-
but if you
stop
pay,
dancing like
if
that.
you pay my bills, if you pay my bills, I can't talk shit about you.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
hear
if you pay him, if you writing a check for my bills, I'm like, oh man, I don't like what y'all doing down there, but I'm gonna have to suck this shit up.
yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know much about that comment about that, but I will say something. When we speak of transparency, there were some things I think that occurred maybe early in the week. Some articles that I wrote, read myself about Theo Gregory. Now, I remember the name Theo Gregory just being a young man hearing the name Theo Gregory. I don't know this man. I don't know this man.
This man,
Oh yeah, that's him.
there
That's
he
him
is.
over
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Theo Gregory.
Okay, but
I had something to say.
do you can you enlighten us a little bit
Well,
about?
I had something to say about Theo Gregory.
Okay.
It's a clip. If Brother Alman has it there, we'll show the clip first, and then I'll have what I have to say.
Okay, you ready with the clip?
oh yeah.
All right, then why don't you run that?
Cool.
Was entitled, "Who Does Our City Council Work For?" The city of Wilmington is under attack by a gentrifying mayor and the city council president.
Nice do-rag.
Theo Gregory just released a statement that he abused his office. The Ethics Committee, which is chosen by this mayor, said it was okay. The fix is in. The Ethics Committee's first vote was almost to vote away all their authorities in matters they preside over. If they didn't want the job, they shouldn't have taken it. What did he do? What did they do? The story they're painting in the newspaper 4 days late. Well, I'm not sure. However, it did say Hanifa Shabazz knew. Theo Gregory is a lawyer, a past city council member, a president of city council, and he's a thief and a liar, admittedly so. So why should the taxpayers be satisfied with the decision on this case now? This should not be the end. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There needs to be an investigation to all the financial dealings the last 20 years in public service that this man has had. Case in point, connections where Theo, Hanifa, Darius Brown, and Mike Brown all worked and sent money to themselves. Is there no law enforcement officer, or is anyone in law enforcement that can see there's a crime here? The public does and always has. We get to see Rodney Square, a main staple of transportation, taken away from us with the approval of the governor on down. But now they have $7 million to beautify it. What could that $7 million do in our disenfranchised communities? They want to sell our parking lots, the stadiums, and Howard High School needs a stadium. They're trying to privatize everything, and basically, for tax revenue, they say. The parking lots make money, and the people work there pay money. So how would you sell this, how this money-making entity for just tax revenue when they have a tax? When what we've done is we had a multi-million-dollar company in Buccini and a multi-billion-dollar industry, the 76ers, and we gave them a building tax-free forever. Wilmington needs help. If not from our local officials, then from the federal government. Joe is busy being president.
30 seconds.
Is busy chasing the current president. But who is looking out for Wilmington? What I'm saying to you here right now is this investigation does not need to stop in the corruption of our city. That is just the opening salvo. If this man has already said without any federal prison that she was involved, what more would he say if he has to go to jail? Theo Gregory and all of them need to be held accountable. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so can I just say somebody exercising their civic duty right there?
Yeah.
Yo.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What I can say.
I'm just hosting it. I'm going to sit back here and learn a lot more.
Right, let me give you some more information.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right,
sure.
We only have 3 minutes then. I can talk all day here. You know what I mean? You heard her at the end running across me.
Yeah. Do they listen or do they just try to count you down and get you out of there?
They try to get your ass out of there.
Yeah.
I'll be very frank.
Wrap him up, B. I'm surprised that Oscar music ain't start playing.
Oh, my goodness.
But listen, here's what I want to say about Theo Gregory. I've done a little solicitation, a little investigation, we'll call it, into what happens with a person like Theo Gregory in the city of Wilmington. The charges that the Ethics Committee has and all this, I've been reading that they're not even going to charge this gentleman. Now, this is not the first time this gentleman has been involved in an incident.
Oh.
This is the third time on record.
Oh.
First one was 1994 with Thomas Capano. Next time was Leo Marshall, I think in 1998. In both cases, Theo was taking money, and afterwards, the money he took from the individuals enhanced the individual he took the money from career. It's called pay to play. It's called pay to play.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Theo Gregory was made to step down from head of the finance committee previously when he got paid to play. All right? Now, here's what I'm saying to you. Over 20 years, this man been doing the pay to play. And he had an institution, what they call them, nonprofit. I'm here for the kids. Whose kids? Because you're stealing from the ones you're supposed to have been helping. Now, this is what I have to say, and I'm saying it again. If there's no one in the state of Delaware that sees theft what's that called? What else did they do? Embezzlement, fraud. If these aren't criminal offenses, I don't know what they are. Because the problem is, the court that wants to judge Theo Gregory is the Wilmington City Solicitor, Luke Menti, a friend and an employee of the mayor. The city code states that has never, from the city solicitor's office, ever prosecuted an official on a criminal act. But yet, the same office has prosecuted many a civilian, many a regular person, many a taxpayer for the grass being too high. It will give you a criminal case for your grass being high, but it won't do nothing to a convicted liar and a thief of public money and trust. If the people in Wilmington don't stand up to this egregious act, if the city law department somewhere that can't find criminal charges against this man, the federal government needs to step in. And basically, I'm not giving it's just how it is. You know, I'm not trying to get into who he did this. People have gone to jail before for lesser deeds.
In other cities.
Yeah.
Well, during the time, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I got sidetracked.
Yeah.
And this is part of the conspiracy, too. When that article broke, it was the end of our last podcast. We tried to pull it up, and we couldn't because it was on pay. You had to pay only, but it was on the Washington Post that same day. That Friday, it was in the Washington Post.
Right.
It was in Philadelphia.
Right.
But you couldn't find it in Wilmington on regular news until Monday.
So,
All right? It came out on Monday. But on the Sunday, there was an article, an editorial, denouncing what happened and so far. But you hadn't seen the article. They held it at a Sunday's paper where you have your largest subscription. It has never been on WDEL, this story. Has yet to show on WDEL, but yet it's showing nationwide.
And what's our bogus paper that
Nothing.
charge you just to look at? Because
that thing, that's why we didn't see it the first time.
Yeah.
Delaware Online.
Online, you had to pay.
Yeah, they whack.
Hey, does do they do that when the article first drops? Like, is it like okay, we just got the article out. Do they want you to pay, or is that just
An
anytime
article of
you?
that magnitude, if it's in the Washington Post, and it's in Philadelphia, and the local people need to know. They're hushing it up because see what happens.
Oh.
Theo Gregory has already said that Hanifa was involved. Now, if he has the threat of going to jail, a lot of other people will be involved, and they have to protect Hanifa because she's the mayor's political goon in the city council because she controls those votes in the city council, and you can see it from this article here. This item right here speaks of it. When you can sign something 2 weeks before you vote on it, because you know you have that political power. The city of Wilmington, from the governor on down, I have to say, because he's endorsed it. I haven't seen the attorney general stepping in. Nobody's stepping into this, and they just saying. I read in the articles online why they cannot prosecute this man.
So this is basically abuse of the public trust.
That's all this is. The theft of the money, the theft of the kids he was trying to help. And do you think I'm telling you, his cases, this is his third case in front of the ethics board. His third case, not his first, his third with it.
Yeah.
Come on, how many times? Evidently, he's a better lawyer than what I thought.
Oh yeah, he's
You know.
yeah.
I mean, he's very slimy. He can get through the cracks. I tell you that
This
one.
is
Might be very, very, very versed in the law books.
But this is our taxpayer money again.
that's abuse
this
of the
money-
public trust, man.
This money was given to help people.
And just again, if anybody's interested in this, there's plenty of articles now. There was an article in the Washington Post about it. I think a little earlier I was reading an article.
He had a school. Excuse me. He had a school.
Moyer Academy.
Right? Yeah, it's closed up for a couple of years. And we talk about the education of young black men.
Yeah.
And just the other day was how many shot each other? 4 shot each other in one part of town. 3 shot each other in another part of town.
There was a few shootings.
Yeah, these young men shooting each other. That should be in school. Should be in some kind of training facility.
Yeah.
Like People's Settlement or
They're all closed down.
Jackson Street Boys Club.
Closed down.
Yeah.
But the city is in the business of paying people's bills, so you got money to pay to open up one of them facilities, man.
The people's bills the
Yeah.
city's trying to pay is a person that's working with the city to kill public opinion, to kill transparency, to do what they want, to gentrify the city and push everybody else wherever they want to push them to.
Could you explain by what you mean by kill? Because you talk about the voices of the people,
They do. They don't want you to have a voice.
Oh, Sam Guy's a problem, boy. He
a
lights them up.
problem.
He lights them
He lights them up. Yes, he does. And young Vash Turner. And I tell you something. Shout out to Williams, Councilman Williams. I don't have a clip for you here yet, but I tell you what, your words are. I read your words, and you're telling the truth about the Theo Gregory case.
Oh. But was you there when, like 2 years ago, when Cyril Adams said Hanifa should resign?
No, but I am aware of the statement.
I got that clip is somewhere. I know it's on Sam Guy's Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll start playing some older clips when we run out of things to do, because it's important that everybody knows. Like, little things may seem little to some people. The Rodney Square issue. Every city council person should have a statement on file of their opinion about Rodney Square.
Right.
Now, what they've said collectively, it's not my opinion, it's the governor on down. Well, it is. You don't represent the governor. You don't represent the mayor. You represent the communities that elected you. Yeah. And people in all these communities, all 7 of them, ride the bus. Every city council member needs to have something on file, whether they are for Rodney Square or against it. Let the people know where you stand.
Okay.
Don't hide, because we are watching you. And if we find that what you're doing, we're going to tell it.
Civic duty, man. This is
yeah, for real.
I mean, if this isn't an example of doing your civic duty, then I really don't know.
I was watching one of the city council meetings, and this white lady from Sussex came up and was talking about the Rodney Square situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she was talking about it in the city council meeting. I'm like, yo, this is.
Yeah.
It's really a statewide thing.
It's not a black or white issue.
It's not a black or white issue.
These aren't issues.
It ain't black and white at all.
No, it's not. Actually,
gentrification
is not black or white.
No,
not at all. It's class system. Yeah, definitely.
Because like, if the middle class disappearing, how you gonna make everything to fit middle class standards?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they've been attacking the middle class. We all know that.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother conversation, probably.
I mean, it is. That's a whole. The middle class has been under attack. There is no middle class.
Yeah, shout out to Penrose Hollins. Yeah, shout out to Penrose Hollins.
Shout out to the brother. We hope we haven't offended you by using your clips, but I tell you,
I hope not.
They've been very poignant.
And
right on point.
And shout out to WITN 22.
Yeah, 22.
And that's another thing. Channel 22 is working hard, man.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because they almost been sold as not being the city's channel.
Well, Channel 22?
No, I'm just saying, like, because of the whole with Channel 28.
Oh, okay.
It's like, the city seems to be behind 28 when 22 is the city's channel.
I would feel Channel 22 more than I would 28. I mean, I just know Channel 22. Yeah.
Channel 22, they putting in work now. Saquon and Egypt and India and all
shout
them.
Out to Channel,
they working hard.
Shout
over
out
there.
to Channel 22.
Channel 22.
Yeah, they was at that Cardi B thing too, and she was like 40 minutes late, so they staying out late putting that content.
Yeah. Definitely.
And we up early.
We're having some fun on this. We're having some fun with this one. This is our second one, y'all. Shout out Civic Duty. Just want to say to the listeners, to everybody watching, I'll reiterate it sometimes. You can do this research. You can do these things yourself. We're not reporters. We're not here. We are here as taxpayers and people we are gentlemen that have literally looked at it, and through our goggles, through our glasses, through our visions, it just doesn't seem like there are some things that are right.
And there's some things that's wrong.
There's some things that are wrong. Now, I've talked about this. It's also kind of our civic duty also to talk about good things, not just everything that's negative about the city of Wilmington, but good things that go on also. You had a little information. I think we had talked about just like an example of that.
Yeah, I'm looking for it now.
Okay.
I want to get the date right.
I was finding some information about some good things that went along in the city of Wilmington. You know what I mean? Instead of just.
Well, I know in the future we had a couple of people want to come on the show, and one of them's a Midtowner. So.
Well, we'll keep that. That's.
He'll be on with us.
We'll special guest that one. That's going to be.
We will definitely do that.
That's going to be a pleasure.
Shout out to Midtown Wilmington. We will be calling on you. Shout out to East Side, West Side, North Side, South.
All of
Riverside,
Wilmington.
Riverside, Bucket 26, all of them.
Everybody, please.
I want to take this time now that Ob said that. Listen, if you want to follow us, if you any text, any kind of comments, suggestions, anything, reach us on Living Dreams Entertainment on Facebook, or you can go to Ob Chambers page on YouTube, or right on your television. Watch on your television or
Comcast
YouTube.
Got YouTube on there now,
YouTube,
so you can watch Civic Duty on your television.
On your television.
Okay, I found it. It's
okay.
Chess on the Square. We got to have T. Warren or Miss Lisa Flowers.
Yeah, shout out
the
to
lovely Miss Lisa Flowers.
Yes.
Chess
shout
on
out
the
to
Square
Chess on the Square.
Out. Read that.
Yeah.
I can't see.
We can't see that. Man.
Well, it's May 25th.
Okay. Yeah.
May 25th, 2019 at Rodney Square from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. All T. Warren productions are free to the community.
To the community.
Come out, play chess, test your steel against other. Yo, them Thomas Edison kids be tearing.
Yeah, this is interesting.
They're champions.
Yeah.
They are champions in the U.S.
Yes.
Yo.
I know West End has some chess players also.
Oh, they all come out.
Yeah,
Chess on the Square.
They have chess players in there too, though.
Yo, Chess on the Square is the business. And them kids, like, I was videotaping. I was like, hey, yo, man, smile. The kid was like, no, I don't smile when I'm playing chess. I said, goodness gracious.
Woo!
This dude, they were sending them old dudes home.
Yeah,
I hear you. That's good. That's good.
And they hand out trophies. It's a beautiful event.
A beautiful thing in the city of Wilmington.
These kids are smart, man.
Not even asking for any money or anything, just to try to take the minds
to help.
Take the minds of the kids. Really, with like the closing of a lot of places and with nothing to do. So there's just nothing.
In the summer,
it's just starting. Nothing to do. Shout out to Chess on the Square again. That's powerful right there. And I hope everybody who saw the clip would take your kids out or just go out and support your city. It's free. Support the city. Support the children.
Support Teron Warren over at BVD Barber Salon.
Yeah, shout out to the Barber Salon.
The lovely Miss Lisa Flowers.
Miss Flowers, shout out, because that's
we'll have them up here before the 25th.
Definitely. We covered a lot of topics, hopefully, for our listeners or watchers. And again, this is great. This has been fun.
What else you got on your list?
What I got on the list? Actually, here it was interesting looking at the paper. Now, this was back on May 5th. This was I think last Sunday. And I was away, and when I got back, took a minute to just kind of glance, and one of the articles kind of stood out to me because we can look at things in the article from a historical perspective. I kind of like history a little bit. So the title of the article was "Time to Bring Balance to Delaware's Drug Laws." So I took a moment and read the article. I believe there's some good columnists that put some nice viewpoints in the article, and just kind of glanced through it. And I'm not going to read the whole article. If you had Sunday's paper and you're interested in this kind of thing, you probably read it. So some things might touch you the way they touch me. But while research does not suggest that our drug laws have effectively reduced violent crime, ample experience and data tell us that current policy comes at a significant cost to the correction system, to taxpayers, and disproportionately to communities of color. And I just thought that was interesting because, we kind of touched on gentrification and, being on the outside. When you kind of look in, when we take this word gentrify, we see that this is happening in Wilmington, it's happening to areas where it looks like there's minorities or just people that have lesser than, you know. No real, not saying black or white. I mean minority. I mean by your financial status, many different things, okay? There seems like there's just a certain area, Rodney Square looks okay, and different other little areas around the city of Wilmington kind of look okay. I thought that was kind of powerful. It made me think about that. There was another little part in the article. As of 2017, roughly 60% of Delaware's prison population was African American.
60%?
How does that compare to like the rest of the nation?
At the time of the 2010 census, African Americans were 21% of Delaware's population. Those numbers are even worse than they sound. The Sentencing Project ranks Delaware's proportion of blacks inmates 8th in the nation.
8th in the whole United States?
In the United States.
In the whole country.
U.S. We are 8th.
That's crazy.
Man.
Locked behind bars, young men.
Yeah.
15 to 35.
Yeah. 20? So 2010 was 21%. So 2010, this is 2019. So 2010, was that the Clinton administration? Was that Clinton?
And what?
2010.
Probably.
Well, see, what we have to look back in the city of Wilmington. It's like the shootings the other day. The young men go back in the ages of maybe 25 to 15 years of age.
Yeah, they're young now.
Yeah.
During that period in the city of Wilmington, we had a mayor that did nothing for our youth. We had a mayor called James Baker. And Jim Baker is the truth. He's been quoted as saying, "They're not my children. It's not my problem."
Yo.
Now it is your problem. It's all of our problem. And it's going to be our problem some more unless we reach out and help these disenfranchised young men and women.
Yeah.
Is it wrong that since I've been at Channel 28 so long, we got like video footage of him saying that it wouldn't even be black people around in 50 years?
You have hold on.
What?
What did you say?
That it wouldn't be any black people in Wilmington in 50 years.
That's what the then Mayor Baker said?
Like, I would have to see if Jeff, she probably don't still got it, but
Get
she
out of
still
here.
taped
Wow.
it. And it's a tape, you know what I mean?
Oh, well.
I've said all along that he was the one. And right now today even, every time you see some project, Jim Baker's standing there. Jim Baker's right there with Pasicki.
Oh, we ain't even get damn, you need a new phone. Oh. We gotta get him. We gotta get him updated.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Cause I sent them pictures. I sent you.
Oh, what were these pictures? You all holding that on?
No.
We are holding out.
What were these
We ain't gonna
pictures?
talk about that. We ain't gonna talk about it. We gonna
Next show?
Nah, we
we
gonna do it. We might do after.
Yeah.
After the show.
After the show.
All right, let me see these pictures.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Because back in 2010.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not a snitch.
1990.
I'm not a snitch.
No,
I'm telling it. To be a snitch, you have to be involved
You
with
gotta
the
be
crime.
involved with the crime.
Yeah.
With the perpetrator.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
I
be
don't have
involved.
nothing to do with these
Yeah, I
cats.
understand.
I'm
Yeah.
telling on their asses.
But did you have that for me? Was
The population in 1990 in Wilmington was 119,000.
Right.
okay?
And then
It's less now.
yeah.
71,000.
Well, a lot of people
And then
left
the thing
Wilmington,
is-
didn't they?
Well, they were put
Yeah,
out
because
the Sweetway.
Middletown opened up.
Middletown. I believe
Well,
a lot of people.
Bear, Delaware.
Bear
Okay,
opened
yeah.
up.
Opened up.
Yeah.
All that opened up. And
Section
plus,
8 went that way.
They moved Section 8 out.
See, when they moved to Section 8 that way, they moved that population of people.
Because they
out.
moved a lot of people out Lexington Green. Remember
Yeah.
Lexington?
Yeah.
They changed the name of it or
I
something,
don't
didn't
want,
they?
yeah, it's something
Yeah.
different now, but
Brookmount Farm, they had to
Lexington
change the
Green-
name of it.
It's Sparrow Run.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
That's an important.
You move Section 8 out, you get them people moved. 'Cause
that's
some
part of the plan.
They moved some of them down Middletown too.
Yeah,
I don't
oh,
know
yeah.
that. I
Oh,
never,
yeah.
I never
Scatter
made it that
sites.
far to that. You know, them
Scatter
projects.
sites, yeah.
but-
It's interesting. This article was interesting. It's kind of just opens up conversation, but it's also clear that a significant part of the problem is the law itself. Delaware's drug code includes several provisions that serve to widen racial disparities in drug arrests, charging, and sentencing.
No joke.
Yeah.
It admits it, huh?
Yeah. Well, This
Yo,
Kathy Jennings is a
I
Delaware
text you
attorney
that. I
general.
text
Yeah.
you that on your
Yeah,
phone.
this is good. Yeah.
That's
I
good.
text you that on your phone, H-Rap.
Uh-huh.
So remember that picture I sent you?
I can't
The
see the
screenshot.
picture. I got an old
Yeah.
Pull
phone.
that shit up and show on.
Yeah, well, I think I deleted it, man. I'm gonna be honest
Okay.
with you. Yeah,
All
I got
right.
that.
All
I
right,
have
that's
that.
good. That's
I have
good.
that fast delete thing once
All
I
right.
kind of. Are you speaking of one of the city representatives and
Yeah,
her
the
fundraiser?
party. No, yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not
All right.
saying
Well.
that. I'm just.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll leave
That
it.
was just
I actually.
I probably heard of it.
No. Well,
I sent it to him,
No,
but his phone-
no. It was an actual. We're not
It
making
was-
this up. This is from them. This is
Alright,
from
alright.
the
What-
other
what
part.
was on the
the
picture?
party, but it
saw it.
It wasn't necessarily what was on the picture. It was kind of, for me, it was some of the things that were said. That's all.
Well, what was said about these pictures?
All right. Well, man, hold on. This is Civic Duty Live, y'all.
Is it still okay?
Man, how you work your?
See, you can't work that phone. You all trying to give me one of them crazy ass
I
phones.
wasn't, man. That's what I'm saying to you. I wasn't.
I'm not fooling one of them phones.
Yeah. So keep talking.
Yeah, I want to know what's on the picture.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's what's it?
Just read it.
Just read it. Just
Don't-
read it. Don't say anything.
Just
Just
keep talking about these drug laws.
yeah. So
My sister. I was gonna read that loud.
Nah, don't read.
no. just
Use your gentrified polite voice,
yes, use-
inner voice.
to read that article. But just to go back to the comment section on Sunday's paper about the Delaware drug laws, it was just interesting. Just being a fan of history and kind of understanding a little bit again what we might have touched on in the earlier podcast about Delaware being more of like a southern state and
Delaware is a southern state.
okay, man,
Like,
I'm
bar
trying.
none.
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
We just close to New
okay,
York.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So,
fine. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're influenced, but how?
What do you say on my way to Delaware when one change of gear? What did Prodigy say about getting caught in Delaware? Delaware drug court almost killed me.
Didn't De La
Cost me $220 to get out.
think
$220,000.
I think a Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul gave us a shout out.
Yeah,
at
we
the
get
Delaware.
shout-outs, bro.
Yeah.
You
So,
know
but it was just an interesting article. It's a really good article. Hopefully, if you have the Sunday paper and you didn't glance at the article, take a look at it. It really talks about again the drug laws, different things that just affect people of color more than other people. So it was an interesting article. Very interesting article.
All right, so now we back on the two shots. So
yeah,
Unc knows who's who.
okay, so
Yeah, who's who?
all right, so,
We ain't gonna comment
no
on
comment. We just wanted you to see
it
the,
unless you want to comment. on it.
yeah, I don't have
Listen,
anything.
It's one of his favorite people.
Yeah.
I'm not a gossiper,
Okay.
but
That's a public Facebook post. That ain't gossip.
No,
okay.
that's public.
Well, it's public.
Yeah, it's public.
Yeah,
That's right on Facebook. Yeah.
It's on Facebook.
Yeah.
But Baker's there, and Persicki, and the whole crew. And and they can go out and have fun, but you have fun with your friends. And there's nothing wrong with that.
This is. I just want to ask you a question. Now you read it, and I just want to. Was the elite? Was the word elite in there somewhere? Did you see that in there? The word elite. It's just a word, y'all. Elite.
I think it
Oh,
was on one of them.
It was
not
on
that
one post. It's not that. Okay. All right.
But
all right.
it's also about movers and shakers.
But they're
Yeah.
speaking about themselves in
Yeah.
a manner that is above everyone else.
Yeah. That's when I looked at
it's on
both.
personal Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm not into Facebook
Yeah.
gossip.
Nah. Neither
But
am I.
because I'm not trying to get divorced from anybody. If I was married.
Oh man.
But in reality, they see themselves as being elitists.
Hmm.
And there's white and black in this photo. And they're all present and past and members of our political community. And they speak of themselves, about themselves as elitists.
Man.
Can we rank like 4 previous mayors? 4 or 5 previous mayors, top 1 to least.
Oh
like,
God, that's
like top 5 in the last 5 mayors.
I'm not sure.
Well, it's in the
You need to write it down. Here you go. I
the
can't
last
really-
5 mayors,
Yeah,
I'll be truthful. It goes back. I mean, to help. It's I'm a product of the '60s. Let me go there.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
That was sneaky.
That's,
that was kind of sneaky there. Yeah, Unc. So
let me just set the stage.
Yeah, what you got here, Unc? Yeah.
Let me just say,
I'm a product of the '60s.
you know.
And
Oh man.
my heart is still lost in some things that probably will never happen. But
Okay.
in my mind, I would love to see happen for Black Americans.
Yeah.
I'm a proud Black man,
Okay.
and I'm an American. My family, all my family I know, was born in America,
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
and we are all of African descent. I believe.
All of African
with this melanin in our skin.
descent.
I don't think, and
You might get some arguments about some other side about the melanin thing a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not really
Yeah,
that
no.
serious.
But as
It's
far
not,
as,
melanin's not that
people
serious.
governing the city of Wilmington,
Yeah.
and having the best interest of the most of the people here, and most of the people here still are at least of the African American community, 60%, I believe you said, in the city of Wilmington. I think the city of Wilmington is still 60% Black men and women and children of African descent. I look for someone that's helped them the most over the last few years, and I cannot think of any government official that has really reached out to help this community.
What about Ruth Ann Minner?
I said none.
That was a joke.
Yeah. But I also blame ourselves. I have to be very frank about it.
Oh yeah, that's a tough conversation right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I blame us.
We still carry a certain kind of
I
mentality.
blame us for all of our own,
Yeah.
at this point, for
Yep.
most of our ills and our problems.
Yeah, we
I blame my own community for them,
Yeah.
for not being a community.
Yeah.
I blame my own community for not having banks and not having businesses. Our unemployment wouldn't be that bad if Black people employed Black people, if Black people had jobs
What do you think? Do you think
and
though?
businesses.
Do you think at one point in this, because we I believe in Oklahoma
Oh, we have 1,500.
historically
Well,
Black Wall Street
historically,
and
we have 1,500
Georgia.
cities or more.
Maybe
all Black
maybe a
run.
little while back. Maybe the
Yes,
turn of
now.
the yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
They
See,
said
okay.
it was black tag.
There's
Yeah, so-
there's a gentleman
yeah.
I love to listen to.
Yeah.
And I've read his books.
Yeah.
The gentleman speaks he's very articulate man. He's a very intelligent man. Dr. Carl Anderson.
Okay.
And Dr. Anderson says in his lectures, and I read in his books,
Okay.
that during slavery, the minority wealth in this country was 1/10 of 1%.
Okay.
Now, with all of us free people in this country, the percentage of wealth is still the same.
Yeah.
Now, not through Dr. Anderson's teachers or knowledge have I derived at certain things. On my own over the years, I have noticed we do not farm anymore. We do not have any industry in America. There is no minority industry except clowning. And I have to use that term because what they do with their money is a disgrace. You know, so don't get me started. I don't think we're supposed to do this today. This is supposed to be our second time out. And, oh my goodness. But
yeah.
we need to do for ourselves. We need to learn. I look at all of our financial institutions that we do have, such as our churches. Every church should have a store. In all these communities I go into, I don't see Black-owned businesses. I had one, and I usually don't talk about myself, but I had several in my lifetime as a younger man. But these churches with all these congregations, all these people, all this money, shit, drive a Chevy and start a business for your church.
Are you
know?
saying the church people like, man, do the churches know the people in the communities?
I've said 1,000 times to anybody that knows me, if you go to any of these churches in the community and you say to the reverend or whoever that guy is running that building, take me around the corner and introduce me to the people in this block, they do not know them because everyone drives to the church. You know what I mean? The church is not a community church. You know, some church, well, my church has a soup kitchen. Yes, a lot of them do, and that's a good thing.
Well,
But you don't
I
stop
gotta
at a
give
soup
a
kitchen.
shout out to Pastor Billy Lane because when Lede was giving out them turkeys and the city harassed him and was like, yo, you can't give out turkeys on Thanksgiving. Billy Lane was like, yo, come to my church parking lot because he right down on East Side in
Okay.
the old printing building.
Okay.
and he's getting out in that community.
Okay,
That's right.
That's
Like
good.
he's
man.
getting it.
We
That's
need,
going.
then we need more Billy Lane.
yeah, shout out to Christian
You know what I
Growth
mean?
Ministry.
But I know a lot of these larger churches with these large congregations.
Now, Unc.
Are they fancy?
I look at
Now, Unc.
what they don't do.
Now.
I'm not looking at what they do.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to look at what they don't do.
Okay.
I want to look at what they do.
do.
Yeah, what do they do? And that's about what they do. You know,
Yeah.
on a scope. But they do things for the church members,
Yeah.
and that's great.
Cool.
But what about the community at large? I mean, what about the community at large?
Yeah, man.
Come on. What about the outreach?
It's
You know, they pray.
it's interesting in the city of Wilmington, and you know, as again a taxpayer for myself, and just looking at things, we have some work to do. It's so. It could go anywhere with this conversation. There's so many things that we could talk about, but it does kind of start with understand the community, and again, going back to civic duty. A lot of your community, when they vote, probably say, "Hey, that's our representative's job." So we just feel like it's a good platform to put the information out. And again, I want to say, everybody listening, everybody out there, thank you so much. Keep listening, keep talking,
And comment.
Leave
your
Vote
comment.
for the person that's representing you.
and share-
Leave comments.
and leave some
Whenever
comments.
you see our posts, leave some comments.
And leave some comments. It's cool. And hopefully this will just maybe spark your interest in a little bit of civility and just looking at, you know, what's going on in the city. And hopefully, you know, as people, we can, you know, just try to do something positive, try to play our part, try to help out in the city. Unc, you got anything else you wanna touch on? We covered some things.
I went off too much today.
Nah. I
think he's stewing. He's
Yeah,
stewing
nah.
over
Yeah,
there.
these
He's
two
like,
guys set me
I'm
up.
ready to like somebody.
I'm confessing. I'm going to confess. These two gentlemen, these two younger guys, they set me up.
Oh man.
I've been asking for an avenue where we as a community can get our ideas out about the politics in the city, and we need to put a newsletter out. And he kept saying, "Well, Unc, what you need is a podcast."
Yeah.
You know, he said a couple times real soft to me.
Yeah.
You know, and so I said, offensively, what's a podcast? And these two cats been looking for a guinea pig. And hopefully it'll be a wonderful relationship, and we'll keep coming back.
You got anything you want to add, man?
Nah, just check us out. You know what I mean? And leave comments.
Let me see that again.
Leave comments on the Facebook page, Living Dreams Entertainment.
Yep. Auburn
Like
Chambers
us.
on YouTube.
Auburn Chambers on YouTube. You
Yeah.
could pull it up. You could pull up YouTube on your cable box and watch the show
on
your TV.
TV.
So you don't gotta sit in front of your phone like my peoples in Philly did. Shout out to Philly.
Man. What you doing there, man? Yeah, civic duty, man.
Yeah,
so
civic duty.
listen, everyone have a great weekend, and we hope you watch again.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy
Happy
Mother's
Mother's
Day.
I
Day.
said before, but I got daughters. And
Happy Mother's
grandkids,
Day.
got aunts. Happy Mother's
To all
Day.
the ladies, you don't really need this day to be mothers. Every day is a Mother's Day, really, and we need to respect our ladies more. So, again, happy Mother's Day. Happy weekend to everybody out there. Civic duty, y'all.
Happy Teachers Appreciation Week.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife
All right.
making this possible.
That's right.
And that's it, baby.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.